Before we begin, just a quick disclaimer. You might encounter strong language. Whoopsie! We also want to be clear that the things we say are our opinions and in should no way be taken as medical, health, or dietary advice. We also are aware that we have certain privileged experiences and therefore we are not able to be representative and we don't even aim to be representative of all the things that people have lived and felt that we have not. I'm fat and I love boxing. So,
Knock them out, sister. I'm fat and I can dance and dance and dance, little bit like the Energizer Bunny. So,
I have seen this. It is scary. I'm fat and I'm super flexible. Yeah, that's what I said, flexible. So,
I'm fat and I've done multiple treks. So,
wow, that's like a life goal for me.
I do it slow, very slow, but I do.
मुझे हिम्मत नहीं. Anyway. I'm fat and I don't really want to exercise, okay? So,
I'm fat and I can touch my toes, which is why I love the yoga. So, yoga.
welcome to Fatso, the podcast where we talk about the joys and sorrows of being fat women in India. Heavy on the joy. I'm Ameya.
And I'm Pallavi, and today we're going to talk about fitness. We're going to talk about all the fascinating ways in which we can move our fascinating bodies. Of course, if you want to, because there are many times when we don't want to. Ameya.
Yes, do I have any thoughts on the subject of fatness and fitness? Gee, I wonder.
Ooh.
Question 1. How do you feel when you walk into a gym?
Ugh.
Right. Now, this is the thing that I've always found so fucking weird. Why are gyms basically designed to make people who need to be in the gym, quote unquote, need according to all the fucked up things, feel like they don't belong there? So I went to this gym. There was a gym next to my business school when I lived in Spain, and I was like, shit, yaar, thoda to exercise karna padega. So I signed up. And my God, the first day I walked in there, I cannot tell you, everybody in perfect makeup. Tiny, tiny, skinny women in training bras and hot pants. And like every picture on the wall is like some hot woman or some hot man. I'm just like, guys, this is not motivational. Oh God, too many mirrors. It's like, come on. This is for people who are fit and want to feel good about themselves. This is not for people who need to get fit. And that's the other thing. That's the other huge problem in gyms. That they're not really interested in, again, just like nutritionists and doctors, they just put you, fat box mein dal diya, fat box ka fat workout de denge. Dude, you can put me on the treadmill for an hour and I might burn 400 calories, but I would burn way more if you just let me lift weights. And that's the thing, even in India, all the gyms. So I joined CultFit because, like I said, I love boxing and they have boxing and I'm like, yes, let's do it. But they are so woefully inequipped for people who are not already at a high level of fitness because their warm-up, the mobility part at the beginning of it, I can't fucking do that.
Yeah.
And the trainer has no idea what to do with me in that point. And I'm like, do you not even have a slightly easier level option? Like the yoga class, so hard. But don't you have a beginner's option? Because if you don't have a beginner's class, then what the fuck?
Yeah, and I know so many people who've been pushed to the point of injury. I mean, fat people,
Oh
thin
my
people,
God,
all.
really?
So it's
in
like
gyms,
really
like,
scary.
and that's the thing. It's just so hardcore and so focused on this thing. And fundamentally, at the end of the day, if you are supposed to be telling me as a fat person that I need to exercise to get fit, I need to go to the gym, then make the gym a fucking welcoming place for me. Make it have chairs I can sit on.
Yeah.
Do you know how tiny those fucking weightlifting benches are, bro? Like, not even half my butt goes on it. Like, half of one butt cheek. Like, not even like half. It's ridiculous. And it is not okay. And let's not also forget about how we're always told that if you're fat, you're not fit.
Yeah, and somehow if you're fat, you have to do a whole lot of cardio.
Yeah, even though cardio has been proven over and over and over and over and over and over again to actually not help you lose any
It causes
weight.
so much stress to the body.
Yes, and if you're really heavy and you're running on the treadmill and nobody tells you to place your knees properly, going thud, 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 your knee, bye knees, bye knees. And nobody even talks about this stuff.
So anyways, I think I can't go to a gym anymore because I think I'm over the weight limit of half of those machines as it
They have
is.
weight limits.
Yes, darling, they have weight limits.
I signed up at this gym and they wanted to take my BMI, of course.
Of course.
And I stepped on the machine and guess what? I weighed too much for the BMI machine to be able to calculate my BMI.
Correct.
Guys, I was like, I don't know, 140 kilos?
Get your calculator out, darling.
Like, what the fuck? You here to make me get better or what? Like, ma'am, actually, my weight now, uska matlab 130 tak jata hai. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Absolutely. So, same category, same weight, same situation. That's how it is. But, can I go on to the science of it?
Yes, I am done ranting.
While exercise is extremely important for a healthy body, okay, where we are now dividing or separating this whole thing about health and fat.
Yeah.
Okay, exercise is very important for a healthy body.
Absolutely.
It helps you in a huge number of things. However, not the stressful exercise of hours and hours that we're told, right?
Yes.
Okay, so not that. But it's really important. Exercise. Studies have shown that exercise has zero impact on weight loss. In fact, there have been studies that have shown exercise actually increases
because fat
weight.
moves into muscle and muscle weighs more.
Not only that, it also causes stress on the body, so it releases cortisol, so that whole insulin, cortisol, all of that jazz. Plus, it has an effect on your appetite and how much you want to eat and how justified you think that you can eat because of the whole calorie in, calorie out. But hey, we've already said it doesn't work that way. And just recently, I've seen this thing where they're talking about putting how many hours of exercise it would take to burn off the food that you've eaten. Okay, so they're saying that on a pizza, they will put up the fact that it would take you 4 hours of walking or something like that for you to burn it off and so on and so forth. It really doesn't work like that.
Also, because you're also burning that pizza in running your body.
Yeah.
It's like that is also what it is. Not just that you take the pizza and then it just stays there.
No, not only doesn't it work like that, the whole point is then those people who do go to the gym and have done that 1 hour will feel justified. But hey, because you've been denying yourself food, so already your metabolic rate has reduced. So now you're, so it just...
It's a vicious cycle.
Basically, it is supremely important for health. Okay.
Yes.
But it does not really have impact on weight loss. You can't eat whatever you want and exercise and think you're going to lose weight. And this still goes back to the whole thing we spoke about in the food episode of how weight is regulated, not regulated, etc., etc. So all said and done, while exercise is very important, it does not have any impact on weight loss.
Yes, okay? And what it does is it's important because it keeps your cardiovascular system moving. It's important because it helps combat blood pressure and like high or low blood pressure.
Absolutely.
And it's important because literally you should be able to move your body, right?
And it's really good for the brain also.
Yes, that's the thing. Like, for me, people are always shocked that I am as fit as I am. Hi guys, just to be clear, I'm not like some fit rock star and all. But like 3-4 years ago, I was way fitter than I am now. And people are always surprised.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh, you can do this. And I'm like, dude, I'm schlepping my whole body around all the time. What do you think climbs those stairs? That's a quadricep workout. That's what that is, bro.
I know, like I went to this Pilates instructor and I did this wall squat. And she was like, how could you do it for so long? That means you have a really strong core. I was like, do you see all that my core has to lug around all day?
Right.
I would damn well have a strong core. I can do more sit-ups, crunches, etc. than a lot of the slimmer girls that come for the same class.
I mean, for me, the squats. Every time I meet a new trainer, he'll be like, "Ha, ma'am." He'll put a chair next to me and say, "You squat on this." And I'm like, I just look at him with the expression of extreme contempt. Turn around and do 30 squats.
And perfect form, right? Parallel to the floor and everything.
Perfect form, because I've been doing this for the last 20 years.
Correct.
And they're just like, oh, ma'am, you are quite strong. And I'm like, no shit, Sherlock.
So anyway, going back to the science.
Okay.
So the other thing is calories don't get burned that much in exercise. The maximum amount of calories get burnt in basic metabolism. So even when you're sleeping, you're burning calories. Okay, so it's not just exercise. Also, the amount of exercise needed for health is very different to the amount of exercise that is prescribed for losing weight.
Yes.
And beyond a point, exercise creates stress. I've already said that, the cortisol thing. Okay, so now this was all from Jason Fung's book on the obesity code. Linda Bacon, in Health at Every Size, says, look, categorically, active people are much healthier than sedentary ones, regardless of the weight. She talks about the same studies about exercise having no impact on weight loss. She does say exercise can cure, prevent, or minimize most of the major chronic diseases and disturbances, including diabetes, insulin resistance, hypertension, high cholesterol levels, cancer, digestive disorders, circulatory disorders, etc. So, big case for exercise, just not for weight loss.
Yeah.
And therefore, just not in the extreme quantities
Yes.
that we are prescribed, and therefore just not creating the amount of guilt we all feel, because I know a lot of women who will do their 30 minutes of yoga very happily, but they'll be told by the whole world, and I'm one of them, they'll be told by the whole world, but that's not enough for weight loss. And so you're doing it, you're enjoying it, but you're constantly being guilted about it not being enough, and then you just stop doing it because, guilt is just paralyzing. Also, very, very interesting is the fact that the desire for exercise a lot of time gets hardwired into your brain in your mother's womb.
What?
Yes, because of that whole set point thing, and how that is 70% of our weight set point is based on heredity.
Yeah.
And our genes. So, for example, if your mum has been dieting while she's, or, food restricting, etc., while she's carrying you, which a lot of mothers do because they don't want to gain too much weight over and above,
The baby
you're
weight.
probably less likely to want to exercise and move. So, in my case, this is like, can you imagine, Ameya, hardwired when in your mother's womb to not want to exercise?
I'm going to use that excuse, even though my mother is the least inactive person in history.
No, but see, there are other things, right? For you, there would have been the set point thing, and therefore it's your hypothalamus that is telling you don't move because we want to keep your weight where it is. So,
It was a joke. Sorry.
okay, but I'm being all scientific, brainy, Newton type snow. Right now, not hearing the joke. So, anyways, I mean, imagine this science on exercise. Like,
I mean, and it's only like scratching the surface. There is so much out there,
Absolutely.
like the cardio versus strength training. Why does strength training help you? Because strength training builds muscle, and muscle boosts your metabolism, and that is far more useful to burn your calories than running on a treadmill for 25 minutes, right? That said, if running on a treadmill versus running actually in the world, huge difference. Better for your running is much better for you, because you use your body the way it's designed to do it, and you're not like just trying to keep up with the speed of the treadmill, that you're actually running.
Yeah.
And it actually gives you a lot of other benefits, and then you get all the endorphins high and the runner's high and all of that.
Please do not talk about treadmills. Please do not talk about spinning cycles. Oh my God, the amount of bruising I've had on those things. But tell me your personal experiences about exercise.
Yes, I didn't want to go too much into your two personal experiences. So exercise has always been something that I've hated. I ask myself why. Because you see, once I started enjoying moving my body, I'm like, but why do I hate moving my body when it's exercise? And I realized that it had basically came down to a few things. I was fat as a small child. Like I was fat by the time I was 8, right? So I sweated a lot. I sweat a lot. And that made me feel like I don't like that feeling. And also you don't look cool and composed, right? And now as an adult, that's even more like, even curly hair is like too disordered for the world. So I was sweaty. I was terrified of humiliation. I was terrified of people laughing at me. And every time I moved my body, I would get laughed at. Dekho moti daud rahi hai. Dekho moti chal rahi hai. And I'm just like, no. And then whenever I did try to participate in anything or do anything, I would hold back because of this. And I was always told that, oh, you're so fat, you must get fit. I'm like, okay, I guess that means I'm not fit. That means I can't play sports. Well, God knows. I mean, now the way that my body works and how I understand it, I wish I had known that when I was actually a lot younger and a lot fitter. And I could have done so much more with my body. So letting go of that fear of humiliation, breaking out of this idea that I was not fit because I was fat took so long. It took so many years. And I mean, I have been to so many gyms, so many personal trainers, and some of them have been amazing and some of them have been awful, obviously. I mean, and my mother is someone who is like ridiculous. She's one of those people who's like, she's almost 70 years old, and she will get up in the morning, she will go for a swim, and then she will go to aerobics class.
Wow.
And then she will go and play badminton, and then she'll come back, and then she'll be like, let's eat a horse. And I'm just like, why you couldn't give me this? But she used to try. When we were kids, she used to try and take us out to play sports. She used to try and encourage me to do it. But I was already like kind of ashamed of my body and moving it and using it and stuff like that. So, and also, I was an adolescent and I was like, I hate you. So, yeah, I didn't do all of that then. She tried though, she really did. But I would just keep avoiding it, and avoiding never helps. And I went to aerobics at one point, and that was nice. It was fun. I did learn to do a lot more with my body than I thought I could, for example. And then I got a personal trainer at one point, and that was actually really depressing because I had a personal trainer. I was working out 3 times a week for 2 hours. Like I would do an aerobics class, and then I would lift weights with him, and I was eating a restricted diet, and I lost 1 kilo in 4 months.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, then I just quit. And I'm like, fuck this. I'm not doing this anymore. Then, of course, other things happened, such also known as put on a lot of weight. But yeah,
baby.
and the nightmare of the treadmill. Like just the nightmare of the treadmill, the stepper, the elliptical train. I just tell them in the gym, I'm just like, they'll be like, ha ma'am, cardio karo, aap 40-minute treadmill. I just look at them and I say,
Good
no.
Lord.
And then they look at me and they blink. And I'm like, no, I will not do more than 10 minutes on any cardio machine.
You bet.
You can ask me
In
to
totality.
yeah. You can ask me to lift heavy weights.
Yeah.
I'm game. You can ask me to do squats. You can ask me to do lunges. All this is fine.
Boxing.
Well, this is before I had even discovered boxing, right? So I knew that I like to lift weights. That was the first time I sort of came out of it. And I really did enjoy it. I love the burning, paining feeling in my muscles when I do it. I love, like, I've had my biceps so sore that I can't, like, just letting my hands hang down hurts so much. And
But it
that
feels
pain,
good.
oh God, feels so good. Like the delayed onset muscle soreness DOMS, as they call it, the next day. It's just like, yes, so much virtue.
Yeah. If I do an exercise, a new exercise thing, and I'm not hurting all over the next morning, I'm like, did
That's
I
what
even
I tell my
exercise?
trainer
I don't
now.
enjoy
I'm
it.
like, what is this? Koi pain hi nahi aa raha hai? And he's like, ma'am, roz nahi aayega. I'm like, nahi, roz aana chahiye. Kuch to karo. Then, of course, I regretted it because, of course, he's like, acha, pain chahiye. Chalo.
Challenge.
Then for 3 days, I was walking around like I can't move my arms. I can't move my neck.
Oh my God, I have to see that. That was so cute what you just did.
Amazing.
But this whole my personal experience with exercise is really this whole shame thing because I used to love doing stuff, okay?
Oh.
I joined my the athletic team because I used to love doing somersaults. And then a teacher said to me, oh my God, she told my mother, oh my God, she might break her neck. She's so fat. Please take her out of this. And I used to love it. And I used to run races like after school with my brother and his friends. I always used to play with my brother and his friends. I never had friends of my own. I would win those bloody races, yeah. So then they started shaming me, ki moti ladki. So, plus my mother would only let me wear skirts and all that.
Yeah.
So the skirts would be like flying up around my ears while I'm running. So all the aunties of the neighborhood said, oh, shame. Like, stop doing that. I wanted to learn cycling. When my brother learned cycling, my mother said, no, you'll fall off the cycle and you'll break something. So I don't know how to cycle.
To be fair, this is a fear that I live with all the time, that I'm terrified of falling because when I fall, I'll have a seriously bad injury, which I did mention in the healthcare episode. So I'll
Yes,
shut
you
up now.
did. But the point is that I would have loved to learn how to cycle. I'm
At
sure.
that age, you can fall off and break something and recover from it like that.
Yeah, anyways, I may not even have fallen off and like broken
Correct.
anything, right? Then the other thing was I used to dance a lot. So I used to take these Kathak classes and I used to love dancing. So I used to practice every day for an hour, yeah. I've done half an hour of that tathai, which is like serious
Yeah.
cardio. But you see, it was never correlated with this is good enough exercise for her. It was always you're not exercising enough. But now I know that I used to exercise. I used to practice every day, the dancing. Then when the dancing stopped, I used to love Jane Fonda videos, aerobics. Oh my God, I used to love doing Jane Fonda videos. But when I stopped losing weight, it started becoming, you're not doing enough, you're not doing enough, you're not doing the same video enough. Like, hello, how is it possible?
Just to be clear, in case you didn't know, we are 80s children.
Yeah, we are 80s children. So that's true. And then I hated walking. Walking, oh my God, I hated walking.
Same.
The reason being that I would start wheezing.
Oh.
Even if I was walking normally. So I had childhood bronchitis and I grew out of it at 8. But walking would result in wheezing. And I would be told by my parents that, no, you're just being lazy, you're just making excuses. Instead of being given an inhaler and my wheezing stopped, yeah. So it would be so uncomfortable for me. And I would be petrified of going for a walk because I'd come back all, all of that. Then when I used to love swimming. Oh my God, I still love swimming.
Same.
Okay.
I think it's a thing that because we are fat bodies, we actually move in the water and
Very
we
well,
can move
yeah.
like other people and we can move better than other people. I'm a better swimmer than anybody.
That's
I know.
what everybody tells me. That's what everybody tells
And
me.
I think that's why this is the one place where it's a level playing field, or even
Yeah.
and also I also believe that for me I love it because my body feels so much lighter.
Yes. Oh, I love the feel of the water. But the thing about the swimming is it has this association now in my head because my mum, when I was 17, after the 12th boards, I would wake up at 5 o'clock, go to this Punjabi Bagh swimming club because we were in Paschim Bihar at that time. From there, I would catch a bus to Rajouri Garden where I would do Aptech multimedia classes. And I would come back and not have eaten anything from 5 o'clock in the morning to 10 o'clock when I came back. And I would be so miserably hungry, headachy, sad, depressed. My whole summer holidays after 12th class till college went like that, till finally my body just shut down. I remember one day when my mother came to wake me up, so my brain woke up, but there was no way my body could move. And I just shut down. After that, I simply refused to go for swimming, also to go for the Aptech classes. Also. I was like, fuck, no, I can't do this. So, I think that is when my whole thing with exercise completely broke. And it was a long time afterwards, but that, anything like resolved itself. But
Yeah.
before I start talking about that, what about you?
No, I mean the thing is, I don't know that I've had particularly traumatic exercise movements and stuff like that, but like a lot of the things that you are prescribed to do, like cardio, of course, but even just walking and running, I like walking to places. When I have lived abroad, I've walked all over the place. I have no problems with this. But yeah, go to the park, walk round and round in circle, I will bloody slap you. I mean, there was a brief period of my life when I lived in Vasant Kunj and I used to go running in Sanjayva. And then this is how it worked. I had another friend who lived in Vasant Kunj. We used to meet at the gate. We used to walk up to a certain point as we did our warm-up. And then we would part ways and meet back after 45 minutes and like walk back and go. It was beautiful.
Beautiful,
Because
yeah.
we ran at our own speed. She's a real runner.
Yeah.
I was just like, I had some app called Couch to 5K. It was good because I didn't have to think. It would just tell me to do something. I'm like, well, I'll do it. But the thing that I used to drive me crazy, I used to get so bored. But then I realized something that nobody tells you. Everyone is like, exercise music has to be upbeat, up-tempo, peppy, blah, blah.
No.
I discovered that my exercise music of choice is bossa nova. Because it is music that I get completely lost in. I'll be running through Sanjayvan and, Sanjayvan also was a great thing because there was no repetition. I only went there and I came back. It was not like you go round and round and round and round and round, which drives me crazy.
Yeah.
So it was like I'd be listening to Stan Getz and I'd be like running in this forest. It was amazing and I used to love it. But then I left Vasant Kunj and everything got bad after that.
Oh.
But no, it's not all bad, okay? Like I did learn a lot. I learned to heal. For me, a really big breakthrough on this was boxing because I was living in Spain and I had this American friend and we used to hang out and drink bourbon and listen to country music.
Ooh.
And one day we went at some party or something we'd gone to, I can't remember, at Oktoberfest. I punched him in the arm, like in jest, but he had this huge bruise. So then we were talking about this 2 months later and he was like, dude, what the hell? And you can really punch. Have you ever thought of boxing? I'm like, no, violence. I don't do violence. Violence is bad.
Sorry. बहुत जोर से आ रहा है. Lucky you didn't punch him anywhere else. Imagine
Poor
bruising
Andy.
somewhere else.
So so we would, and then he was like, no, you got to do this. It's great. You love boxing. I'm like, no, I can't. He's like, just give it a shot. Come on, stand up. Made me stand up. He showed me some punches and we like, obviously not with force. We did a little punching and I was like, So I looked at this place and there was this boxing gym not too far from my house. And I decided to sign up for a trial class. So I walk into this trial class and there I am in my oversized t-shirt and my track pants. And there's all these ladies in tight capris and sports bra. Oh, Spanish women, so beautiful. But oh, God! To be fat in that country is truly, truly painful. Worse than India. Can you believe it?
I can.
And so I walk in and they're like, okay, you're a beginner, come here, sizer. And they're like, okay, now we do the warm-up. Skipping rope for 10 minutes. I'm like,
What?
I just kept trying. Kiya, jo kiya. Then, okay, 5 burpees. And I'm like, So the trainer, she laughed and she said, no, okay, if you can't do it, that's fine. She would take me aside at the beginning of the class and give me my own warm-up
Nice.
that I could do alongside. And then we start sparring and stuff. But then the
I love
moment
trainers
came.
like that.
Yes. The moment came when I met the punching bag.
Mm-hmm.
Mother of God.
Ooh.
Like
That high up.
the high that I used to come out of boxing hysterically high. When I started boxing again in Delhi at Cult, I would walk into that class and there would be this point with the punching bag where I'm just like boom, 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 boom. And dear God, my whole body would start tingling. It was like, akin to some other things.
Yes.
And it was like the endorphin rush was insane. And I was like, oh my God, I can do this. Because here's the thing, all the thin girls who could do the burpees, when they hit the punching bag, it wouldn't move. I had to chase my damn bag around in circles because it was always getting pushed away, and the trainers were always super impressed by how I would punch from the chest, from the back, not from the shoulder. Oh God, just now thinking about how your back pains after a good session. Anyway, the point is I discovered that I loved moving, and it's also extremely cathartic because look, Andrew's point was, and I think it's a valid point, the human body was not designed to be sedentary, and it was not designed to exercise in this way. It was designed to move and be used.
Yeah.
So you hunted, you ran, you climbed trees, you punched each other, you had fights, you
carried babies.
did things. You did violent things with your body. And so now, obviously, you're not recommending you go and hunt people. But the idea of move your body in this way, use your body to fight, use your body to do strong things is great. And that's really where I started boxing. And it was just so incredible. So after that, I realized that this is something I can do. There are exercises I can do. I've also always loved dancing. But this idea of go home, just put on some salsa and dance, I just never do it. I never do it. I don't know why. It's really just for 15 minutes, put on 2 Mark Anthony songs and just do the basic salsa step in the middle of your living room. Because I used to be able to dance. Now I can't last a whole song, which is really sad. So to me, I want that stamina back. So when I got my trainers, who are lovely, by the way, they are in many places in India. They're called Rejuvenation Fitness Group. They're these sweet, sweet, sweet Malu men, really, mostly Malu men, who show up at your door and give you this personal workout, and they tailor it. I mean, obviously, they started me off with this kind of stuff. And I'm just like, no, I don't want... He'll be like, ma'am, for weight loss. I'm like, no, I'm not doing this for weight loss. I want strength, mobility. Then he got it. And now we do strength and mobility exercises. And it's fantastic.
Nice.
And he makes sure I do yoga once a week.
Nice.
I mean, it's it's like barely yoga, but it's But we do it because he's like, no, you have to stretch your muscles. And it really makes such an amazing difference. So the right stuff to listen to, which is something I could lose myself in, podcasts, bossa nova, the right approach, that move your body, use your body. The idea that either the exercise shouldn't be something that I need to be distracted from. When I'm boxing, I'm 100% head in the game. I'm paying attention to what I'm doing. I don't want to
Which is what gives you the high, right?
Well, I
it's
think
like
what
a meditation.
Gives you the high is that your heart rate just goes that high.
But also being mindful and being fully present with what you are doing in that moment, it does give you a high. That's what meditation is. You don't have to be sitting on a floor, with your index finger and thumb together to meditate. You can meditate like this as well.
Fair enough. What about you?
So for me, interestingly enough, and I was already 130 or something kilos by then, I joined these Sivananda yoga classes where they have these 12 exercises they put you through.
Okay.
And the fact that every time I went for a class, my body was stronger, my body was more flexible, was just such an amazing thing. So in the beginning, Surya Namaskar was a little hard. By the end of it, I was doing 108 Surya Namaskars in an hour without a problem. I went for their Surya Namaskar challenge and did it.
Guys, I'm going to have to pause this recording so I can go across this table and slap her because I do two Surya Namaskaras a week with much crying and inability to hold most of the positions or pull my legs up. And my trainer's like, good job. So pausing to slap Pallavi.
Yeah, but babe, so I can't do that anymore because, I'm now not been exercising as much of late. Then what happened was this walk of hope thing. Now to prepare for the walk of hope, I had to go and walk. So I would by myself, I went on these 90-minute walks where I would cover like 7.5, 8 kilometers. And I had just actually sprained my ankle and I was just recovering from it, but I had to go for the walk. So I had to do this. So I pushed myself. And luckily it was winter at that time. So the walking was not so bad. I had a beautiful playlist of music that I just curated. So all of that added to the enjoyment. But what really happened was after 3-4 days of going on this walk at a certain pace, I literally had a moment where I felt my body open up. And I know it will sound spooky, but it was like my body spoke to me and said, lengthen your stride. And that's all I did. I just lengthened my stride. My spine felt taller. My legs felt longer. Suddenly I was walking so much faster.
Yeah.
And it was like my body taught me how to walk. My body taught me how to speed up on the walk, because all these guys would suddenly be walking really fast and I'd be like right at the end of, 100 people line. So like really far away. And suddenly I would feel that, okay, let me just lengthen my stride. And within minutes, I would be right in front. And it was hilarious because everybody was like, look at her go, look at her go, look at her go. Like, how in this body is she managing to walk so fast? And is she managing to get there and all of that? So these have been some really beautiful experiences, like the first time I walked 10 kilometers up to Kedar. Main bhi pagal hu. I'm also mad now. It's not like I will go on 2-kilometer treks the first time. No. First time I went on a 14-kilometer trek up to Kedar, and Kedar is steep. Okay. And oh my God, the whole rasta is full of horse shit.
Yeah.
And full of people. And all the photographs they show you about the beautiful scenery, you can't look at it even because you're constantly looking at your feet and where you're putting them and actually in what you're putting them. Okay. The other thing was the whole way, I kid you not, I had people who were coming down. So my husband walked with me, and really sweet of him, like he walked at my pace. Because, for a fit person, it's really hard to walk so slowly.
Yeah.
And I was literally 1 foot ahead of the other at a time because it was really hard. The whole way we had people saying to him, "Aap kya karwa rahe ho inse? Ye to kabhi nahi pahunch payenge. आप क्या करवा रही हो? ये तो बहुत मोटी है, ये तो कभी नहीं पहुंच पाएंगी." And then saying to me, शिव जी का नाम लो, ओम नमः शिवाय बोलो, ओम नमः शिवाय. And listen, I'm going on that trek for a spiritual reason. I'm already doing Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. I just so didn't need all these people saying that to me. It made the trek much harder.
Yeah.
So even though I enjoyed it and I got up to 10 kilometers, then I took a horse. Okay, and I felt so bad for that horse. I kept saying, sorry. I'm so
I feel so bad for those horses.
Yeah. But I did it, I did 10 kilometers. And at one point we were like scrambling over boulders, which they said don't do, like don't take the shortcuts, go the long way round. But it was awesome because scrambling over those boulders actually helped open my back and everything, which had gotten really stiff. So these experiences taught me a lot about my body, and they taught me a lot about what my body needs, when it needs, what's a hot body, why do you need to stretch your muscles, so on and so forth. And I did bring a lot of that into exercising. So I do put on music and just dance, but I think, and I'm realizing this as I'm speaking to you actually, so aha, insight. I think that voice saying not enough still goes on in my head.
Yeah.
So I may have this beautiful 15-minute dance with myself that I really enjoy, or 15 minutes yoga with affirmations. So this is this new thing that I have like developed for myself, which I really enjoy, by the way. Or I may, do all that, but there's this voice in my head going not enough. And I think maybe that is why I'm not like fully getting into it. So maybe after this episode, things are going to change for me. Knock on wood and hope for the best.
Yes.
So,
well, I think that I hope so. There's still things that I don't like. I still am horrified at this idea of people mocking me, people laughing at me. When I walk, when I move my body, when people are watching me when I'm dancing, I'm like, oh, are they laughing at me because I look stupid because I'm a fat girl dancing?
On.
Hey, we all have the voice.
I know, baby.
So it's very easy for me to fall off the wagon. It's very easy for me to be derailed. Like I was going boxing 3 times a week for like a month, and then the first thing that happened, I just never went back. I have literally not gone back, and I feel so bad because I really like it and it's right there. And then I'm like, I just wake up in the morning and I'm like, but
But
You
you're
know
doing
what?
a fab job, babe. I
You know
mean,
what I am going to do? I am going to go boxing next week.
alrighty,
That's what I'm going to do.
alrighty.
And I'm going to put it on the Fatso Instagram.
I have to say, so yeah, great. So I have to say to you, there is this high intensity exercise that I did. These are these videos, okay, which are called metabolic resistance or something
Okay.
like that. I don't remember. But as I'm talking to you and as you're talking about this, I remember how much I loved it. So I really like the concept that they shared in that, which was work till you can and then rest till you can. So he says resting is as important as the actual workout that you're doing. So it's a 15-minute workout only.
Okay.
And they have like 5 exercises that they do 3 rounds of or something like that. And it works out your full body. But in the exercise, so let's say it's a 1-minute exercise or 1.5-minute exercise, you can work out for 30 seconds, push really hard, and then the rest of the time you can rest. Because he says you have to follow your body, of course.
Yeah.
At some point, the body actually stops wanting to rest and go back into that high of the exercise. And I did this for about 3 months, I remember. And my God, my skin, just the glow on my face and just the way my body felt. And it became so much easier to go upstairs and all of that.
Yeah.
And I think it's similar to the shavasana that you have to do after yoga or after a few exercises, because it sort of, really helps the blood flow or whatever else. I'm going to start doing that from next week.
We still have a challenge for you guys, but this is what we are going to do.
Yes. While I'm saying all these things to you, I think it's really making me realize that I have a lot to heal in the area of movement and exercise. When we were preparing for this episode and I suddenly remembered my Kathak days and how much I enjoyed it and how it wasn't seen as exercise.
Yeah.
Or the whole cycling thing, or I used to love hopscotch, or, we had these sports days, and you would march in the band. And I used to enjoy marching. I swear I actually enjoy marching, that whole left, right, left.
Nazi.
Yeah. Well, maybe in a past life, who knows. But again, it was like, oh, Pallavi's lost weight. And I'm like, oh, I don't want to do this for that. So it's really bringing up a lot of these memories, and I'm realizing there's still a lot I have to heal.
Yeah.
And I think I'm in a space of helplessness right now where I feel that, this is one area of my life that I'm never going to get sorted. I'm never going to get fixed. So I think I'm doing a little bit of call out for help or cry for help as well. Of course, that has to come from within me to a large extent. But I really hope that with this episode and all that we've spoken about, this one area might just, maybe I'll be a little easier on myself. And therefore, I will do the 10 minutes and 15 minutes and it'll be enough for me.
Yeah.
I think that's my problem.
I got you. And there's also the wonderful Gayatri who's on Instagram.
Oh my God, she's amazing.
Gayatri, LIFT, LIKE, 3, the numeral. She is insane. I love this woman. She started this fitness journey on Instagram and she just blows my mind. I'm just like, how do you do it? And she's fantastic. You need to follow her. You need to go check her out for sure. But there are these ways we can find to try and make this help. We try to be kinder and nicer to each other and help each other out in this as well.
Yeah.
As for the old stuff, no, skip.
Ameya. Idea.
What?
Let us do video exercise. Let us do exercise videos. Ameya, seriously, let's do exercise videos.
Our podcast recording seems to have been hacked by a crazy person.
Think about it, babe. And people out there, if you want to watch exercise videos of us.
From Pallavi. Please
and
let us know.
Ameya.
Pallavi.
I'll do the
Please let
Surya
us know.
Namaskar, you do the boxing. You do the squats.
Okay, this brings us to this episode's challenge. And the challenge is just this. If you don't like to move, if you hated it, just try and do something that you think is completely nuts and like, I can't do this, or why should I do this, or I won't like. Just try and do it once.
Or just do something new.
Just do something new that moves your body. Do something new and tell us about it. We're looking forward to hearing from you.
Yes.
Which brings us to my favorite part of the episode.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for listening. You can find us at Fatso Podcast, FATSOPODCAST, on all social networks. That is Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also email us at fatsopodcast@gmail.com.
By the way, we also have a YouTube channel, and now that we will be posting exercise videos, maybe look at her face. You can also follow that YouTube channel. All our girl talk and a lot of our other videos are there.
This episode was recorded at Mancha Media. Our music was composed by Anand Sharma. Our photographs were taken by Suraj Ajit Kumar. Our logo was made by Yash. And Ameya will be producing, editing, as always, apparently now. Bye, guys. Until
And
next
giving
time.
me a hard time in the process.
Well, someone's got to do it. Until the next one.